Hey everyone, as I dive deeper into the incredible world of black myth Wukong, I found myself craving more information about the lore of each chapter. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any comprehensive lore videos on Chapter 1, Black Cloud, Red Fire, so I decided to dig into the details myself and piece together what I could. In this video, I'll be sharing everything I've uncovered about Chapter 1 and exploring how it ties into the classic tale of Journey to the West. If you spot any inaccuracies or have additional insights, feel free to let me know. Black Myth Wukong, the Prologue. From what I've gathered, the prologue of Black Myth Wukong actually unfolds after the events of Journey to the West. Now just to give you a quick refresher, though this video isn't solely focused on Journey to the West, the gist is that Wukong, along with his companions, helped a monk named Tan Zeng travel to India to retrieve Buddhist scriptures and bring them back to China to spread the teachings of Buddhism. By the end of this epic journey, Wukong completes his mission and is granted godhood, becoming a Buddha himself. It's also worth noting that in the original tale, his headband is removed at this point, a detail that might be important later on. In Black Myth Wukong, the story picks up from a dramatic turning point. Wukong decides to relinquish his godhood because he no longer wants to be bound by the rules of heaven. This decision, however, does not sit well with the gods, leading to a dramatic confrontation with the heavenly army. Interestingly, the headband that was supposed to be removed after Wukong's ascent to Buddhahood makes an unexpected return. It weakens Wukong, giving Erlang Shen the upper hand in their battle. This suggests that while the headband was seemingly removed, it was never fully destroyed, highlighting the lingering prejudice of these higher beings. From the prologue, it's clear that Wukong has given up his Buddhahood, but not necessarily his immortality. The narrative leaves some ambiguity about his status, whether he's alive or dead. What we know is that Wukong's physical form is trapped in a rock and his spirit has been scattered into 6 different relics. Our mission is to find and restore these relics to ultimately resurrect Wukong, or at least that's how I understand it. Speculation time! Here's a bit of speculation on my part. I believe that the Destined One, the monkey we're playing as, might actually be Wukong himself. It seems that the loss of the 6 relics, which are possibly fragments of Wukong's spirit, has caused him to forget his true identity. Of course, I haven't finished the game yet, so this is purely conjecture, but my theory is that once we recover all 6 relics, the Destined One will regain his memories and realize he is Wukong. Again, this is just a theory, so take this with a grain of salt. Chapter 1, Black Cloud, Red Fire takes place shortly after the prologue, where we find ourselves in Guanyin Temple, the residence of monk Jinshi. Now you may have already encountered Jinshi on your journey. Some may know him as the Wandering Wight, while others may know him as Elder Jinshi. Our story kicks off with Jinshi, who began his journey as a humble monk at the Guanyin Temple. In his youth, Jinshi formed an unlikely but profound friendship with the Black Bear Yaoguai, aka the Black Wind King. Little did they know, this unique bond would pave the way for a series of dramatic and pivotal events. Now you might be asking, what exactly is a Yaoguai? From what I've gathered, a Yaoguai is a type of magical being with extraordinary longevity. They can be anything from animals like frogs, foxes, and bulls to plants such as trees, flowers, or even ginseng. It's important to note that not all Yaoguai are evil, they simply possess magical powers and long lifespans. The Black Bear imparted to Jinshi the secrets of longevity, blessing him with an impressive lifespan of over 200 years. Thanks to this new profound wisdom, Jinshi ascended through the ranks and eventually became the head of the temple. Over the years, Jinshi developed a fascination with collecting kasayas, the sacred robes worn by Buddhist monks. What began as a simple hobby soon transformed into an all-consuming obsession, leading Jinshi to amass a staggering collection of these sacred garments. In the original Journey to the West, when Tan Zeng and his entourage, including Wukong, visited the temple, Jinshi's obsession reached its peak upon encountering Tan Zeng's kasaya, an extraordinary robe bestowed by Buddha himself. This rare and sacred garment outshone all the others in his collection, fueling Jinshi's greed and ultimately leading to his downfall. Driven by his desire to own Tan Zeng's kasaya, Jinshi turned to his students, Guang Zi and Guang Mo, who were Yaoguais recommended by the Black Bear. Now Guang Zi is a boss you may have encountered in Chapter 1. This is the boss that unlocks your very first transformation. Guang Mo is another boss in Chapter 1, and you might remember him as the guy that spams poison snakes at you. Now together, the three of them hatched a plan to steal Tanzen's precious Kasaya and then set fire to Tanzen's quarters, making it look like a tragic accident. However, the plan was unraveled disastrously. Sun Wukong, seeing through their deceit, used his power to control the flames, saving Tanzen, but ultimately destroying the temple and causing the death of many monks. Overcome with guilt and despair, Jinshi took his own life by slamming his head against the wall, a grim act that later became his signature attack. The Black Bear, witnessing the inferno from Black Bear Mountain, rushed to aid, but arrived too late. In his grief and desire for retribution, he took Tanzen's Kasaya. Wukong confronted the Black Bear in an attempt to reclaim the Kasaya, but was unsuccessful. Desperate, he turned to Guanyin, a revered Bodhisattva, for help. Now for some context, a Bodhisattva is someone who has achieved enlightenment, but out of boundless compassion chooses to remain in the cycle of rebirth, or samsara, to help all beings reach enlightenment. Though they have realized the ultimate Buddhist truths, they continue to reincarnate until all living beings are ready to attain nirvana. While Bodhisattvas are incredibly compassionate, they are not yet perfect and may still make mistakes as they continue their path of training and growth. The legendary Guanyin and the mischievous Wukong team up in an epic showdown against the Black Bear. The Black Bear's friend, the noble Ling Zui, which you may have encountered as the White or Grey Wolf, had come bearing Taoist pills as gifts for the Black Bear. But in a shocking betrayal, Guanyin and Wukong kill Ling Zui and take his place. Guanyin cleverly disguises herself as Ling Zhu, tricking the Black Bear into allowing them access to his lair. Meanwhile, Wukong uses his shape-shifting powers to transform into the Taoist pills. When the Black Bear swallows these seemingly innocent gifts, chaos erupts from within as Wukong wreaks havoc in the stomach of the Black Bear. With the Black Bear subdued and in disarray, Guanyin takes him to her sacred realm for some well-deserved discipline. Now returning back to Black Myth Wukong, after Wukong's defeat, the Black Bear seized one of the 6 relics belonging to Wukong. Driven by his desire to restore both Blackwind Mountain and Guanyin Temple, he used the relic's power in an attempt to resurrect Ling Zhu and Jinshi. However, the Black Bear's limited magical skills led to catastrophic results. His attempt to resurrect Jinshi ended in disaster, splitting Jinshi into 2 forms, a deranged soul represented by the Golden Elder Jinshi and a soulless body represented by the Blue Wandering White. To contain the chaos, the Black Bear sealed the Elder Jinshi with 3 mystical bells assigned to Guanji, Guangmo, and White-clad Noble to guard them. The Black Bear also attempted to resurrect Ling Zhu, a wolf Yaoguai and former ally who had been killed by Wukong. Unfortunately, Ling Zhu's resurrection was flawed. He required the blood of his own kind to sustain himself. Overwhelmed by despair, he ultimately chose to hang himself. The hanged wolf you encounter near the 3rd bell was a tragic result of this imperfect resurrection. The group of soldiers you fought near his body were the devoted followers mourning and commemorating their fallen leader. The wolf Yaoguai you fight, who claims to be Ling Zhu, was actually a newly appointed subordinate responsible for leading the wolf soldiers. Throughout chapter 1, it becomes clear that true power lies not just in the characters you face, but also in the deities manipulating events from behind the scenes. Guanyin's influence is especially crucial in this chapter. For instance, when Guanyin subdued the Black Bear, it wasn't merely a disciplinary action. It involved forcing the Black Bear to obey orders from Guanyin. This is why after his defeat, the Black Bear claimed to be simply following orders from heaven. And there you have it, the tragic and intricate lore of chapter 1 in Black Myth Wukong.